All right, this is video production, which is in essence is an advanced video production because of the video we are. So it's going to have to be more detailed. Right. So what we're going to do today is I wanted to do something on the steps of video production, but I'll do that later on. I'll start with elements of video production. Maybe the elements we are going to talk about are like even some of the important things or elements or things to keep in mind when we are thinking about going to produce something with your cameras as a comparison. Now, we'll say video cameras. So in terms of the elements, I think if you remember, say, if it's a film, you're talking about there is a director, and then we'll talk about that the director is the one who initiates issues. So with the starting point is whereby you know what you want. You should know exactly what. So you start by setting your goals. You want to have something. You want to have a video production. How are you going to go about it? That's because you don't just say, okay, let's do it. Have specific goals on how you want to go about it. So, setting your goals is an important element that will help you. Because the problem is if you don't have goals that are already set, you might start now doing the video production and you have maybe some challenges. You don't know how to go about it because you didn't have specific goals. So maybe let's try. But if you have a goal, you know what you want to do. You are going to handle the thing. So goal setting is a powerful process to help you keep focused. If you have your goals in anything, apart from this one, for example, you're coming here. What is your goal? You should have usually maybe you have one specific goal. My main goal, I would like to maybe get the paper, the degree. So whatever you're going to be doing, you cannot be, you're not going to be disturbed because you know your focus. You are going to be focused. No. Regardless of what is going to happen, the aim is I should get this. See? So you can see that if you have your goals, they will help you keep focused, right? And identifying goals gives you long-term vision and short-term motivation, right? And it's a common aspect of modern life, right? So for you to have a motivation, you are going to have that long-term motivation and short-term motivation, specific depending on the goals. So you need to set the goals. Okay, what is my goal? So there is this classic goal setting acronym, right? Somebody came up with this one as an acronym on how you can set your goals. Is called SMART, SMART, as in SMART, right? So the SMART is an acronym that stands for. You should just like the S is specific. It's not specific. Meaning you're setting your goal. Now, a specific goal is much more achievable. So instead of saying I want to make a video, you would say I want to produce a video to promote this new product to this target audience. You see? It means you are not just setting goals like in general, whereby you're not specific. There are so many videos out there. So if your aim is to produce a video, who are you producing the video for? So which means when you say my goal is to produce a video, it's incomplete, because the different video production, the way you handle them will depend on who you are producing for and what are you producing for, about. So I think when you start seeing the ordinary thinking, you know that when you set a specific goal, I know we have that when we have a new year, people talk about New Year resolution. Everyone that most of the people, New Year resolution, what that most of the people say, that they post on Facebook, most of them, they don't come into fruition. Why? The issue is they are not specific goals. They are illegitimate. I would like to be successful this year. You ended it. What is successful? What is to be successful in what? To be, so it's like you are not specific. So somehow, if you are not specific, you will not be focused. Because you are going to try this, then let me try this. You don't know. But if you say, okay, I want to be successful in doing this, it means you know I'm not going to be dealing with this. I will be dealing with this. So in a video production, because it's something that you need to pre-plan. It is important to have a specific plan and to know what you're doing. Because if you don't, you end up spending a lot of money. You know, it's a project that you involve a lot of money, traveling, if it's a big project. Now, if you are not careful, you might end up doing spending money in other areas that you will save and you plan it. You are specific. So, this specific is good to focus on. Now, out of the SMART, we have got S, specific, then we have got M, which is measurable. They say, what are you hoping to achieve with your video? You're saying, I want to produce a video to promote this new product to this target audience. That's the specific. And now, what are you hoping to achieve with your video? More subscribers to your mailing list or more traffic. So it means you have set a goal, like what you want to produce it for. But now, can you measure the outcome of what you want to do? Measure. Also say, what do you want to achieve after that? What the whole video you are going to be producing? You want to achieve what? I want to achieve, maybe I want to have an increase in customer sales. Which means you are trying to measure maybe, and maybe you can even have maybe a target. You say, okay, the way you were thinking, because I'm going to place the video maybe in these platforms, I'm hoping that maybe we might get maybe 3,000 additional. If you can achieve to have that specific, so you should have like at least the outcome that is measured. Because sometimes if you don't have outcome of that you can measure, that's where the problem is. So here they're talking about the measurable as being there by establishing concrete criteria, you can measure your progress and stay on track, right? So as I say, when you have a specific goal as you already talked about and you have the criteria that you're going to follow, it's easy for you to measure, to have the measurable outcome, as you know. Okay, so measurable, that's M. Then the A, they say is achievable, right? And the A, they say, first that your new explainer video, if you say explainer video, probably won't go viral within seconds of hitting the web. Ensure your goals are achievable. But the thing is, sometimes people, you have a goal. It's true, it's a goal, you have set a goal. But some of the goals could not be achievable, as what is there said here. Like you said, I would like to create a viral video. Meaning, you want to create a video that can go viral. And when you say a video that can go viral, you know what it means on the internet. Meaning, there's some videos I'm saying you have millions of hits or views. But what you need to know is, it will not say that you can look at all the, methods of creating a viral video. But don't expect that you're going to create a video, then you put it online. Within 5 minutes, it's going to go viral. That cannot happen. So, you should be so sure. Okay, I think, even with this one, if I can, the way I'll create this one, I'm expecting that you take maybe this video for it to go viral. So it means you are able to see that, because somehow you feel like it's a failure, but because you go back to your actual specific goal. You could have set a goal that could tend not to be achievable. I would like to create a video that will go viral in 1 day as a goal, a specific goal. Now is where you're going to check on your smartphone. There is no way you can have a video that would go viral within a day. I don't know how you can do it. To say millions of people have viewed it, it should be something very unique, which is almost impossible to achieve. Now, if you are trying to have your plan there now, make it something that is, you should show that this is the goal I've set at the beginning is achievable, because it will help you there. If you don't even think about the achievability of something, you pursue it, you spend money after everything, and now you feel like you're just wasting your money because it's really coming out. Problem will be, maybe the goal that you set was not achievable with the way it was. So, we would measure. I'm saying, if you know what you're talking about, you have good examples, you know how the platform you're going to use it, how it goes, you compare others, and you're going to see that, I think, with the information I get, if you see on YouTube, how long did other videos took for them to be viral? You see, maybe they took this video. Because most of the viral video, if you go, you never find it that it was uploaded maybe yesterday. Most of them, you find maybe it was uploaded maybe 2 days ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Some of them will be maybe closer, but it will not be very close like maybe 1 10. So that's where I think this element of thinking of the something being achievable, it's but I think this, as you can see here, acronym that is say where created it can be applicable not just in video production, as you can see. This could be applicable in everything, in anything. Maybe you are doing something, but if you are trying to be focused, if you are trying to do, because I'm saying people will be embarking on something that they will spend money, but because they have never thought about it, that is this going to be achievable? Because you need to see the elements. You see people who are opening a shop somewhere, a super shopping mall, especially these people, shops you see in most of this shopping mall. You see most of them, you find some other shops with good things inside, good shoes. But if you pass, you discover all the time when you pass by, there is nobody selling. There are good things there, but they are paying high rents. But if you see them, maybe there's not 1 person, 2 people. But when you go to other shop, you see people are packed there. You end up, this shop will end up closing the shop because they'll be paying rent, heavy rent, few people are coming. Why? They are planning. They didn't do research and say, okay, our goal is to open the shop at the shopping mall. And we want to be getting this business. But is this achievable? How do they do? They will see, okay, who is going to be coming to buy those things? Do research on them. Are the people going to be coming and be buying my product with the price that they say? So if you don't, it's going to be. So is it in our quest to have a video product it is also an important part because you are going to be much more focused if you are going to consider this, whether the project is going to be, whether the actual goal is going to be achievable or not. And what it means, it's not that it's going to help you to abandon it. It will help you to be realistic. You will make adjustments. Okay, if it's like this, the way it is, maybe it might not be achievable because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then let's maybe try to elevate maybe this. Maybe let's add this. So in general, it would be something that will help you to, towards to achieve what you want to achieve. So the other here they say is realistic. Make sure the video you want to produce is possible with the time, right? With the time, the budget, the resources you have available. So it's more or less like this one connected to this achievable thing. I know maybe achievable would be that you have got all the resources, but in realistic, you are going out to measure. Okay, you want to produce this. You want to produce it after maybe within 3 days. With the storyline, do you think it's possible that you can manage to produce this in 3 days? That's your goal, it's true. But is this realistic? Comparing what we have in terms of the resources, the time available, the budget that is available, and the resources that are available. If we can take this resource now, if everything maybe remain constant with this, can this be really be done? You see? So you can weigh in with that, and you see, no problem, because what we're talking about is you are aware of pre-production, production, and post-production. Because that's what it means. You're not just saying, well, you know what goes on in pre-production. So you can calibrate the time that it will take for you to prepare in pre-production. Or you will change it, because I'm saying, when we say pre-production, it's not always that you're going to take days. It could happen that you're going to shoot a video production today, starting from today and ending today. Pre-production could be done today, production today, and post-production. It can happen, but it will depend on the kind of the video you are talking. So if you say it's today, then you know that okay, pre-production maybe will take maybe 1 hour. 1 hour for production, or 2 hours for production, then maybe 5 hours for production. And so you will see the timeline and how you know what you have. Because you say pre-production, it means then you should see, do you have the cast already? Did you consult the people? Oh, the people are already consulted. Do you have the costumes already available? Do you have the directors already available? Whatever. So you know if you have the things available, or everything is available, how long can we take it for production? Oh, we will take maybe, because we are going to show transport, we will take maybe 30 minutes to go to a shooting place. So you calculate all those, okay, it's going to be like this. And now, okay, post-production, after that, do we have editors? Do we have computers? Then you are going to see how realistic that will be. So if you calculate all those and see that maybe this is not realistic, it's where you have to make changes. Right? But if you see that, okay, measuring all what we have, this is okay. So then you progress, because that's what you do. Then finally, they say you think about it should be timeless. They say the T is timeless, because you're talking about SMART, according to that acronym. They say the T is timeless, and ensure your goals have a time scale, right? Talking about this time scale. Right? If you want to increase the traffic to your website, what do you want to achieve this by? Without a solid time frame, there is no sense of agency, and you know when you have achieved the goal. Because the time frame, as I say, you have to say, okay, a specific time frame. With what I produce, I'm expecting that by this day, it should be this. By this time, so if by that time the goal is not achieved, then you know that something maybe is not okay. But I mean, you know how that adjust, or you could, if you plan it well here, you could even visualize it here already, because you have to go through it and see how possible. We already talked about realistic and achievable, whereby you've got to measure how it could be achievable, right? So whatever the case, if you are into that process and then you say, okay, you have your time, their time scale. If it's going to be the process, if that time scale passes and you know that your goal is not achieved, then you have to think of the plan B. That okay, so then what are we going to do? But whatever the case, if you scrutinize yourself well when you are asking yourself the question if this is achievable or if this is realistic, it could help you to even come up with a good time frame. Yeah. Because once you go through the achievability of something, you will be able to maybe to estimate. Yeah? It's all about research, as I've said. How do you know that it will be achieved? You do a little bit of research, and you know how others have been doing, and then you will estimate it could be closer to what was planned, yeah? Which will help you. But if you don't do that little bit of research, when you are asking yourself whether it's going to be achieved or not, that's going to be a problem. So that is more or less like a formula somebody came up with when you in terms of setting your goal. Because this is just setting your goal. You are trying to have a specific goal before you go into the actual thing. To say, okay, so you're looking at the whole thing. So that's one of the important elements of your video production that you need to keep in mind. So when you have that goals set, and then you know that the goal, you have a specific goal, you have seen it to be measurable, you have seen that it is achievable, and you have seen that, oh, it's realistic, and then you have seen that there's time frame. Now, you are going to go into the actual nitty-gritties now, right? To say, okay, now think about the budget, okay? You should have a specific budget, yeah? Because there's a problem whereby people will say, I want a video production, but you have never tried to add up. You know, there's going to be a government that needs to be paid. There's going to be the cast. You need to pay this. All these people. So now, apart from that, there's transport, there's the fees to be paid on the location. All those, they make one budget. So some people would just talk about a budget whereby they forgot about other activities. And when you're doing production, you store somewhere because the money is not adequate. So on the budget, you should define it at the beginning, right? The first thing, go, whether you are working independently or with a production company, is to set a careful defined budget. And what you do with the budget, if you need to engage many people who are experts, because if a production is estimated to be, let me say, maybe 50 million watching, you don't just put the 50 million. If you add up things, they add up 50. It means you should have a buffer. It should not be 50. It should be something like 55 million. Yeah? Or even 60, because there could be a lot of things happening, including inflation. And there will be a lot. Now, if you have got a budget which is exact, if something happens that you also need or will incur some cost, it will be a problem, right? So, but it will help, because what you are trying to do is you want to make the project possible. So if the budget is not adequate, it will derail the whole project. So, and in this one, it will depend to the type of video production you are doing. Okay? For example, you could be a corporate video, and you could even do research how are corporate video charged. So usually corporate videos are much more expensive. It's a corporate thing, right? Because I even know this guy, HD Plus, Sukis. When you ask him the charges of corporate, you know that the whole is a corporate, right? Another person like will be charging like what I'm doing an ad, maybe 30,000. If you're working corporate, you discover your total is 400,000. Right? It's a corporate. So you know even how it's being handled. Now you know a budget, it will depend on your corporate, how you're going to be, or maybe it's just private, right? So determining your budget for the project will depend largely on your overall marketing budget, right? You see that because you don't have to forget it. If you see a video that you have to be engaging in terms of marketing, you see that, okay, how much are you going to spend in the marketing thing, right? And one of the biggest challenges is estimating the amount of work a project will take. And something that gets easier with experience if you maybe have done it before. If you have done it before, it's easy for you because you will know that I've done something like this before, it will cost this. But if you have never done, because most of these projects, people who have never done them before, it seems easy to come up with the figures. And you might even think like this figure is too big. That's what you think. But when you go into the actual production, you discover that maybe that figure was too small. Because there might be a lot of things involved. So you need to know what is going to be involved in coming up with an estimation of the actual budget you want to use. And say here, you need to be careful not to overstretch yourself, but ensure factor in the value of the video will add to your company, right? And the products and services. Because what you are trying to do, if you say for the product, you want to add something, you want to get, not just to lose the money. Because you end up, I gave an example with Hollywood. There are some other video projects that they estimated in the production, they end up to pay to use more money than the outcome. But they realized after the project. They did the production, but they realized they need less money. So that is a danger. So we say, okay, somehow you be realistic, but check this, okay, the actual budget is this. Okay, after you use your product, how much are you going to get out of it? Is it going to pay back that was good? Is it going to bring the value you want? Because you might somehow do what you want to do. It will depend. I'm saying if you know that it's not going to give you what you want to get, it's going to be more. It means you need to chop up some other areas, some other activities. You need to take them out, at least to make sure that you are benefiting at the end of the day. And if you're working with a production company, tell them you are likely budget from the outset, and they will be able to advise you how you can meet your objectives with the resources at your disposal. Because the issue, what I'm saying is, in Hollywood, what happens in Hollywood? We have got major companies, major film producers. Now we have got minor, which are private companies. So usually, most of the private companies, they could do, because production of video, as I'm telling you, it would do more with creativity. Some of the techniques that requires expensive equipment could be done using very cheap equipment. It's possible. But it will take, for whoever is a director or producer, who is creative. I gave an example that you have got some camera movements that need specific equipment. For example, I talked about that effect whereby you are coming closer to an item or even a vehicle is in motion. Then you want to shoot a vehicle while it is in motion. Now there is a equipment whereby you have like a rail, and there is some other gadgets there whereby you mount a camera, and when the vehicle is moving or a subject is moving, that camera will be traveling with that rail together with the vehicle. You see? But that equipment whereby you are to have that equipment, it's not cheap, it's expensive. But that same effect could be, because what you are trying to achieve is not that people are not going to be watching the equipment. Yeah? People are going to be watching the effect. So what you want to achieve is the effect. So what it means, you can use whatever you do, as long as you achieve the desired effect. I can give you an example as a radio production, because myself, I'm a witness, whereby in a studio, in the radio, it's not supposed to sound the way it sounds now. You see, there's an echo with my voice. I don't know if you have ever heard in radio, like a program, somebody is speaking and they're sounding a more like it's a whole sound. So you have to put the acoustics, whereby sound should not bounce the walls. And it sounds much more close as if somebody is speaking to you. There's no bounce. Now to go and buy the acoustics, like if you go in the shops in Malawi, the original acoustics, like those I've seen them before. They're like black. In the studio, you see them, they can feel the wall like a tango shape like this. So it's a size like this size. If you find like one of the shop in town, it's 20,000 watch. Just size like this, 20,000. So if you want to have the whole room, so you can calculate how much. But what you're trying to achieve is you want to not have the echo. Now, if you're making a program that people are not going to be seeing you, what does it mean? You can do anything without people knowing that you will be. Because as long as the sound is, the voice is going to be okay. So I'm saying myself, I'm witness because I've done it before, whereby I wanted to record something, I knew that it's going to be echo. Now I'm in my bedroom. What I'm going to do, I can take a blanket or even a coat, put the Bible here and cover myself. Now when I'm speaking, now my voice will be bouncing inside the coat, will not go into the walls. So when I record, it comes out as if I was in the room where there was an acoustic. But when somebody listens on the radio, you never know that I was just using a coat. We will speak like I was in a studio where there was fully acoustics with the expensive equipment. But the issue I'm telling you is the outcome. So in the video production is simple. I'm saying there's an effect whereby you have these trollers. You use what you call trolling, whereby you camera it moves with the subject. Now I was saying that I have a wheelchair, even a stool with wheels, or actual wheelchair. You could put the camera in on the wheelchair and you roll it. Whatever something like move with it. The effect will be the same. Some of them saying you have big cranes, you have big cranes. Now when they are having that scene where somebody is dressed in the car, it means you need to have cameras that can shoot the flat, even while the car is moving. So you have got specific cranes whereby the vehicle is moving, they go around the car. But those are expensive. So I saw some, they will take, I think in one of the book, I think video production, that book. But you say you are not, if they are not there, I send them the books, I will send them again. I will just put the same books again on the same place, on the WhatsApp. So there's a book video production. You see where they are talking about camera mounts. Some will take the camera and the mount it, put it on in front of the vehicle, like at that is the port. And then they will put it there. They will have like something like suit. Put it like stick it like tie it and with the tape, right? And you look where the character is. Now when the vehicle is moving, it's going to be shooting as if they're using other cameras, right? So there's so many ways. There could be that one, or you could use graphics. Yeah? I talked about there's a green screen nowadays, and Hollywood is used to do that. Like Marvel, they used to do that. You could shoot in a room like this. You don't have to travel. You use a static camera. You be in a room like this. You have a body of your vehicle. You be inside it, but you could be just maybe only the top part. They will shoot you from outside while you're in the vehicle. Then they will shoot you in a room like this, looking like you're inside the vehicle. The background they use is green screen. So you could discover that you save a lot of budget. And like you say, okay, let's have a budget where we need to buy this, we need to buy this. So the outlook, because it will depend on how much is the project going to pay back. Right? If the project is that big, that it can pay back a lot of money, it means you don't care. You can say buy everything. Right? But if you know that if we purchase these and we combine the cost and then we do the production and everything is okay and we achieve what we want. But what we are going to achieve is going to be less in terms of cost. Cost is the amount of what we are going to get is little than what we are going to spend. It really need to think another way. But now I'm saying it's all about creativity. It can be possible, but you now will say, okay, all the budget that you achieve it, you find other ways to say you achieve the same goal through other means, but the budget is innocent. Because I'm saying all the budget is where people, even they will lose even the sponsors, if you are not careful. Because I'm saying, if you are going to sponsor as a company, they will ask you, okay, how much is your budget? Because they will need to sponsor, tell us your budget. Then you calculate everything, cameras, as I'm saying. So when you combine all these gadgets like video production, they are not cheap. So if you combine everything, it will be big. If you tell them the second thing, you cannot just manage to give you this. But if you know, okay, I think if you talk about videos, I gave an example like in Hollywood, Black Panther movie, budget, it reached to $20-something million budget of the actual production. But because the company knew that this film is going to make more than this, they gave them the money. Now they used $20-something million to make the movie. They realized $1 billion and something. Something, I don't know, 1 to 2 billion, 1 billion something, but it was in the billions. So you can see that whatever they did, and they think about 200 million, that's not a small amount of money. But it means they purchased everything. But still, even in Black Panther, there are scenes whereby they had to use the CGI. See, this is new technology, computer-generated images. CGI, whereby they will pretend that they went somewhere while they were in the movie. There are a number of scenes in the Black Panther movie, the first one. One of them I said when the T'Challa came to meet his mom. He found him and his mom and his sister outside. So they were like buildings. That place was in a room like this. All the buildings you see outside were just computer generated. That fight at the end, where he was fighting with this Killmonger, they fell from up there, they were going down. All that scene is CGI. You should have observed it well. So there are enough of things, even the fight they were having in Japan, when they were jumped on the vehicle. There are a lot of CGIs. So it's like there are the things that could be achieved, but some could be maybe much more expensive to use maybe actual, maybe people who need to have actual techniques. So they will say, okay, we're going to cut cost here, maybe we'll use computer generated here. Okay, here we're going to use actual things. As I've said here, instead of going to essentially city, or let's just create a city using computer. So it's possible for a person who is planning to come up with that. So the only thing I'm saying, on the budget is like the estimate should be realistic. But what we're talking about, the bottom line is, you have a budget that is going to make your production possible. Because I'm saying, if the alternatives are going to make the project impossible, it means you need to include everything. Because what we want to do is to come up with the end product, isn't it? So if you try to think, okay, if we remove this, if you make it to be 30 million, which one we say, I think it's not going to be, possible. Then you put the actual amount 50, it's all the production cost. But if you know that we can have other ways of making it possible, it will depend on the beginning. So, but the bottom line, as I'm saying, defining your budget is important because you don't have to have those things whereby you have run out of money. And the production, the whole production has paused because you don't have the money. And yet you knew that you are going to do those activities. So you're going to be sort of in the good way. And say, remember, you don't have to spend a fortune as long as you have a good strategy in place. So this is what I'm talking about. That most of the time people will think like, oh, what's the production? We should buy everything, or we should hire everything. But I'm saying, if you have got a good strategy, there are so many strategies. You could spend less. So strategy, as I'm saying, where you say, instead of doing this, which is expensive, you will do this. You will achieve this. So that you know this good, easier strategy, you follow that one. Then you discover that the budget is not that big, but you also achieve what you want. So that's just, it's more or less like telling you to be much more creative. Because I've seen budgets that say people who are not creative, whereby they just think like, oh, let's just give them the budget. They'll give them the budget. They are not creative. The product they are doing is not even exciting. They will do the product which is not even a good product. They will not get what they want. But if you are creative, you know first of all, okay, we are saving money. How are we going to go about it? So it's all about making sure that the people who are working on your project are creative. That can help you in this area. And there are so many things. And I know that we are used to just see final products when you see in the films. Sometimes you take time to browse on your computer. Most of the films you have seen, try to browse and see the video clips of the making of those films. You'll be surprised some of the scenes, how they were made. The scene was made like this. There are a lot of things a lot of shortcuts that were done in most of the films, but that you don't know that it was done like that. But most of the shortcuts, or most of the strategies, they are the ones that could minimize cost. You see? Or I give an example like one of the strategies that they did in Matrix, second Matrix. The Matrix is not it. There was a scene whereby there was one character, he was duplicating himself. He became like a number of people, 10, 20, 30, 40. So as I say, they were using the same guy, duplicating using computer, and now somehow they were using other people. They were taking other people, dressing him like him, making his hair like him, combining him with others. So when you look at things, you have the computer of the real one. They were not looking as if they are just, they are looking all real. You see? So you have those things, and you also have like, if you know, coming to America, which is famous, coming to America. Coming to America, you know, when you go, any market went to the barber shop, two people in that barber shop, it was himself. The white guy and the other guy, it was him. The other guy was his friend. When he went to the show where there was what there was the singer was in the back. The pastor was his friend. But there was also the two were also in the same room. So there was others. So what it is, instead of having maybe let me say in the barber shop, instead of having 3 extra people who would need extra salary, they use themselves just make up, and they use themselves twice. It means they have saved money that would have been given to 2 people, or just 1 person. And he like coming to America, Eddie Murphy played, I think, 3 or 4 characters, or 5. It means instead of having salaries or payment for 5 people, you just have to pay one per person. You have saved this money. So that's one of the strategies, see? Whereby you will save the money by seeing how can we minimize costs, achieve the same effects, but minimize costs. Then you will think about, okay, you can find other people dress up like somebody. The same person will play maybe 4 characters, different characters. And then you do, so you will find so many things that could be done in the film that when you see the making of it, it's when you discover, no, I didn't know this and this. Yeah, so that's just the way that can help you to say, okay, you have a budget that can even be in sync with being realistic, right? So something like that. What else? The following, okay. What else did we, okay, there was a video clip here. Then there is the defining your budget goals, right? After defining your budget, then you have to define your budget goals, right? You need to define your budget goals and realistic. You need to be realistic. Estimations. And remember, a minute or two of video is never going to explain all your products and services and demonstrate your company's ethics. Therefore, you need to work out exactly what you want this video to achieve. And do you want to make, and do you want to market a specific product or service, or show off your knowledge or expertise on a certain subject, or demonstrate the human side of your business? Are your motives are purely financial, or do you want to attract more traffic to your website, or do you want to reach a new target audience? So all of these factors will have an impact on the sort of video you are producing, and the more guidance you can give, the more effective and cost-effective it will be. And you also need to think about your call to action and ensure you give your viewers an edge in the right direction, right? So the thing is, as I'm saying, you're going to do your marketing. What are your goals? Because what you need to do, as I'm saying, this TV, this video, the videos that you are going to be producing will be having specific minutes or duration. If it's going to be a marketing video, or it's like a video for a company product, there are specific limitation in terms of duration, which that period you might not, if it's an advert, just an example, if you know how adverts works, you don't have maybe hours of adverts. Can you start to have an advert for 1 hour? Even if it's a good advert, most of the things that are talking about more marketing, they take less time. So because of that, you need to be so sure about your marketing goals. What do you want to achieve? If you have got a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes, if your goal is to make people buy your product, then in that 3 minutes, those 3 minutes, you should emphasize on that. There should be much more emphasis on that. Because as I'm saying, what you're going to come up against is saying, one product, unless if it's a film, right? If it's a film, even if it is a film, film will run in hours, maybe 1 hour, whatever. 1 hour film you could talk about things that happens in so many years, Somebody's born, was born, they grow up. So you mean you have to tell a story from somebody being born and maybe aging in 1.5 hours. That's what it means. You see? So you should determine that, okay, how is it possible? A person has taken something like 70 years to grow. So you should tell that story of what has happened to him, what happened to him in 70 years in 1.5 hours. So what it means is where the market, if you are going to be selling the issue, the product, if it's a film, is where you need to define your marketing goals. Okay, this thing is going to be marketed. What's the main thing you want the video to do? You want the video to show how cruel this person was, or how good this person was. So if you have the goal of your marketing, now you know, okay, with this limited time, for me to achieve the goal in the marketing, what we want, we should emphasize more on these elements. We will have to be flexible, because these elements, they are going to emphasize something that we want to emphasize, right? Because obviously, some of the things you need to leave them out. So they will help you to say which things should be left out. Because if you are not so sure about marketing goal, then you know that time is limited. Let's leave some things out. You might leave things out that are important. That's where the problem is. So that is just for the film. But for the issue to do advertising, like for the products, it's worse. Because I've said there is no way you can have an advert for 1 hour. You don't find that. Most adverts, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe longer, 10 minutes. They're not that long. So if you just something like 3 minutes, then you know what are you trying to achieve. You want to maximize the sale of that product. Then in that 3 minutes, it means you should emphasize things that are going to make that product sell. You can't put everything. Some things you know that these things are not that relevant. Let us talk more about it. If you are demonstrating about it, there could be a demonstration video. Okay? Demonstrating about how something is done. So you should know that, okay, if we put this part and this part, people will know everything. How this thing is done. Because there's some planners, okay, they will spend much more time at the beginning. At the end, maybe 3 minutes is about to be up. We don't have much time. Let's just do it quickly at the end. Then you discover people watch it and you say they don't understand it. We have understood at the beginning, but we don't know at the end. So you need to know how you are going to balance out. Okay, you have how many minutes for this. So defining the marketing goals will help, or marketing goals will help you to achieve that. As I'm saying, you need to define your marketing goals, and they should be realistic, right? Do you want to market a specific product or service? Show off your knowledge and expertise on a certain subject, or demonstrate a good. So all those things are talking about. And then what else? Because we have talked about elements, like we started talking about setting your goals. Then setting your goals, we talked about the SMART. Then you said defining your budget there. Then after defining your budget, you said defining your marketing goals. Now it's not just another goal, but the goals of the market. Right? How is going to, what do you want to achieve after you place it on the market? Then you think about the time scale, right? You need to consider the time scale for your video. After all, there is no point allocating a significant portion of your marketing budget to a project, then running out of time to complete it. You see? Resulting in a poor quality video. It happens. Whereby you had all the budgeting or allocating the money but because the time scale, you did it. I think I gave an example of what happened to. It's not a video, but it's an example that could work together with time scale. You noticed there were games at the big stadiums, the youth games. You know those games, eh? Sports games, I'm saying in sports, there are no games in sports that just come unexpected. And you have got an organization that is responsible for sports. You have a calendar for the year, and you know in June it's going to be this. So now, that event was already on the calendar. But the way it was done, it's as if it was budgeted, but they did it only hard. To the extent that I think they had to be fixing, building, constructing the swimming pool area, whereby the swimming facility. Very quickly, right now it's a bit dilapidated because it was just done some standard, because the time was not adequate. And they had to be, if you saw the big stadium, there is that outer mini stadium, whereby they had to be constructed. I think there were like toilets or maybe there are rooms. So those rooms were being constructed even during the games that they were in session, but they were still constructed. And they finished them after the games. And you said you are constructing this for the games, then they are done after the games are done. What was that? The problem could be with the time scale. They had the budget well, they allocated the money, but whoever was now planning the time, the poor planned. It means activities that were done at the beginning, they were not supposed to be, because they were supposed to budget it, and now to plan with the times. Say, okay, we are supposed to do what? We need to construct a swimming pool facility. We need to construct then the matches are going to be with this day. Okay, how can when can we start this project? Because how long can it take, for example, to construct a swimming, or it will take this thing? Oh, so they look into that, they will have known, okay, because let's start the construction maybe with this time. Yeah? But what happened, it seems like they didn't know the duration of it would take to construct other things. Now they were under pressure. And the other thing, even the budget, it was poor. Because since they had a budget, they ran out of money, they have to be big in the government to give them additional budgets. Yeah. And they said, no, how? So it's similar with this, it will happen. Whereby you concentrate on getting the money, even in Hollywood. There are some other projects that have suffered something, whereby they budgeted, they had the money. Now they were anticipating, even in production, we had I think if you know the film Black Widow. I don't know if you have seen that movie. There's a film called Black Widow. There was a specific time, because in Hollywood, most of these film production companies, they set specific date of a release of the film. So they are working on something, they will tell you it will be out in December, on December 20. So Black Widow, it was planned to be out in December. I don't know what happened, it was maybe delayed, it was shifted. Now, when it was about to be premiered, COVID came. So because of the COVID, they discovered that with this COVID, whatever, what is happening, we are not going to make more money. So they have to delay it. He said, no. So it was delayed for 1 year. And it's pathetic because there was if you know, I don't know if you follow, Marvel films. You know Marvel films? Okay? In Hollywood, there is the Marvel films, is like a company that produces these superhero films. So there is a battle between Marvel and the DC Comics. So Marvel, they have DC, and maybe Spider-Man and the like. The DC, they have got Superman and the like. Now, most of the stories of these characters, there are some other stories, they are linked. So this is Black Widow is much more linked with the DC, Captain America, the Avengers. So they were like trying to talk about a story. It was a story about one of the characters. In the Avengers, there's this lady called Natasha. So it is a story about Natasha, where she came from a very age. So now there was I think it should be one of the Marvel films was supposed to come out to lead into that story. So it was supposed to be Black Panther coming out, Black Widow coming first, then that film. But because of the delay, the other film came first, then Black Widow came later. So they were trying to connect. They said, no, this one was the connection to the planet. It did not make sense because the timeline was not much, was complicated. It is not even the way it was supposed to be. You see? Yeah, but the bottom line, I'm saying, even the Brazilian had problem in terms of budgeting because of the changing of the release date and that. But the production would be the same because I could say they assuming that songs that are done to be released on the Christmas. The Christmas Day. It means before Christmas the song should be out. Once the Christmas is gone, the song is nothing. You should wait for the other Christmas. So it's like waiting for all that, whereby we were waiting, so you know how you wait. So the film is the same thing, whereby as far as the budgeting is important and the planning and other things important, time scale is another issue that you need to be focused on it much. Because this issue is especially if you have something that is depending, that is limited in time or in terms of your time. Because there could be other things that you say that it's just a film. And the film is like you don't want to get anything now. No. But there would be the same films, you know that if the film can be out by this day, it's going to be successful because there's a certain scenario for that other people. Or for example, I'll give an example like Christmas film, they are Christmas movies. So if they are out during the Christmas period, because you could sell. But if you have a Christmas film in January, February, you cannot sell. So it means you're going to be making sure. So what I just be emphasizing here is just most of the times you have some other production that are poor production, not because they were poorly budgeted or poorly funded. It could be because of failure to observe the time scale. What it means, you have a pace at the beginning. The film is supposed to be out in 3 months. Then you have a pace which is more relaxed at the beginning, thinking that you are all the time. Then when the time is about to be maybe 3 days from now or maybe a week from now, you discover that no. The way we have been working, if you are going to work in the same way, it will go beyond the time. So we have to do it very quickly to make sure that by that day is out. So you discover some of the things is like there are some things you can do, you can do have shortcuts. But there are some other things you can have shortcuts. If you can have shortcuts in other things, it will show. As I'm saying, especially if you are aiming for quality. Now, if you are able to say, because when you're having shortcuts, people should not be able to observe, like in film. People should not observe that it was done very, or maybe cheaply. There's that problem if you see the Hollywood, we have that problem. Some of the films that are low budget films, people could tell that this was a low budget film. How you see the kind of shots, you see the location, you see, and you may say, I think this film, like example, I'll give the example to the Nigerian films. Most Nigerian films, let me tell that this film was shot in a day. They don't even have to worry about things. Poor lighting, they don't even collect it. They will go somewhere, poor camera shot, they will just shoot it. As if the camera was just rolling throughout. So, if you want to make something quickly, as a professional, it's all about knowing the time. Then if you know the time, you know, okay, this is supposed to be done within the day. Okay, how can we make sure that we have done it in this period, but it should be of high quality still? Then you find ways, okay, we can do it. But if you're not so sure, you start lazy. Wow, we're going at the beginning. I mean, some of the films I've seen before. Films that at the beginning they were very good films. The way they started, but the way they ended, you know, you're not impressed. You expected them more way. The way they started, there's going to be more than it. But if they just end as if maybe somebody just switch on the switch. You see, I've said it a lot of movies. Those will be probably time that maybe they had more time at the beginning, and then they discovered no, this movie was supposed to be out by this day. We don't have much time, so we cannot go into this. Let's just quickly wrap up with the production. So you end up feeling to have a film that was good. I think I can give you some of them. I know some of the film that had something like that when they started. film, you will say, no, this is going to be a very good film. You are good. I think I remember one of the film, which is it's a lesson film. Yeah? This film called the Mortal Kombat. The lesson to Mortal Kombat. If you watch that movie, you can tell that much effort was placed at the beginning and at the end. In the middle, there's nothing. Literally nothing. Before the energy that was at the beginning and what the energy that was at the end, we really say that these people, as if they would have just choked in the middle and throw it away, take the beginning and the end and combine the big one film, maybe. Because at the beginning, everything, the story, the way it was going, the action, and from nowhere it just freeze. There was a slow conversation, there are some other conversations in film that are very creative, where you believe people realize. I give an example like if you are watching Rambo, Face Black, you could memorize the conversations without giving action. So you can know that these people took time. But it has cheap conversation and realistic sequences at the beginning, at the middle. A long part of the middle. But the way you said at the beginning, I wasn't even saying, no, you're going to say, I will watch it. Suspense, action, and the like. And when it was at the beginning and at the middle, because I heard some other people too, if you can search online, just search and find out about comments about the lesson to Mortal Kombat. Most of them will say the first 7 minutes, it's like the whole movie is the first 7 minutes. That's what people are saying. When you study 7 minutes at the beginning, 7. After 7 minutes, nothing. And when I watch it, I discover the 7 minutes at the beginning, the middle was nothing, and at the end, some minutes at the end, maybe close to maybe 5 minutes or 7 minutes at the end. So that could be the setting whereby, they couldn't be, because they, as I'm telling you, it's like the way the films are shot. They don't usually shoot it sequentially. Because when we watch it, we will think that, they started shooting at the beginning. But probability is, the beginning and the end, they were shot at the same time. Because they were the difficult parts. So most of the time, most of these productions, they could start by shooting the most difficult parts first. Then they went with the easy part. So when you watch it, you think that, no. So the way I watched it, I will be said, I think, they shoot this part and then they will say, okay, maybe according to time, let's just finish others. So that's an example of how it can be. And if it didn't do much better on the market, it could be because of maybe that. But the first part, let's put it the thing, I'm saying at the beginning, because there are some other films whereby they will have a good part at the end, which is down to be worse. They will have once they have a bad beginning, people will not finish. But I think this Mortal Kombat, like, escaped everything because it had a good beginning. So people could still want to watch it further because of that. But it's the same thing. Yeah. Gentlemen, oh, ça veut dire. What do you say? 7. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. I mean, that's an example of time scale. Then you check the time scale. As I said, the time scale will vary depending on the type of video you are making. And remember to allow enough time for finding a production company, and also for planning your script, and also for researching before filming. I even gave an example because I said everything is, all the films that we see, if it's a film, it's a story. What it means, the most important is the script writing. So don't just say, okay, let's do everything now. Script writing is something haphazard. No. Production company, if it's a good production company, it means it can, make sure that even if you are thinking about, if you are working with other people, then those people should be professionals that can help you to achieve your company. I mean your product. Now, as I'm saying, time, make sure that you have that enough time finding a company or planning your script and researching before the film will even begin. And in addition, don't forget to the post-production work that will need to take place before your video is complete. So you need to know how much time will be needed, as I talked about in the post-production. But sometimes people, they forget about the post-production. They talk about the actual production, they calculate the time scale. Forgetting that after production, you are going to be in the editing time, room, whatever. There's needed to be enough time. Because if you don't have to do a good work during post-production, there will be a bad production, right? So that's what you need to do that. What did they say? We talked about here defining your marketing goal, okay? The time scale, and then establishing your video production goals. Although we talked about some similar things later on. Before setting out your video production journey, ensure you spend some time setting a realistic goal. So it's just similar to what we talked about at the beginning, whereby we say the whole goal setting, whereby you are having goals, but the bottom line is having the realistic goals that is going to make sure that will enable your production to be smooth run. And at the very least, you should have set a budget and a time frame and understand your marketing goals so you can maximize the potential of your investment. So as you can see, all these three, they go together. Setting your goals for your video production and setting your budgeting, and then you set your time frame, then you understand the marketing goals, right? So all those is going to work together, right? So whatever we talked about. Okay, here just like in the same way, the planning together, you'll be having, and even if the people that you're going to be working with, you should be knowing that there are going to be people that are going to be involved in different aspects, right? We talked about already that your goals should be realistic and they should be achievable and compatible with your long-term business goals. By taking time to prepare effectively, you will ensure that your project is cost-effective and has the maximum possible impact on the quality, and you will also be able to evaluate success of the project, right? So you're going to have also think about like a creative vision when you're thinking about the goal, creative vision, and in this one, communication. You communicate with your clients. If there's a client, then you have the ideas. I'm just assuming that you're doing a video production for your current clients. We have seen things happening before, like it's a video production for like maybe a corporate one. Now you are a very creative guy, but now you don't communicate much with your clients. Then you come up with a certain creative video. Then you discover the client and say, no, this is not what we want. After you spend all and you are trying to explain, no. And you know there are some other clients that they are difficult. You could tell them, no, according to my idea, I think this will help you. But they'll say, no, we didn't want this. We want you. So that's why I'm saying when it comes to creative vision, it's better that don't just go into creativity and creating something for your clients without communicating with them. It's better you have their vision, you understand it. Then when you are adding your idea, you should know that you know exactly what they want. Yeah, because that could be something that could be hit you back badly. So you make sure that you are communicating with your clients, and you must understand that the audience, which is audience the client is trying to reach, the story he or she is trying to tell, and the objectives of the brand, meaning you should understand everything. Okay, this is the product, this is how they want it to be. Okay, which audience? Because that's why even advisor, which audience are they trying to maybe reach? So it might have it maybe the way they are telling you, with the audience that they want to reach, it's not going to be compatible. Then you discuss, no, with what you are saying, with this audience, I think this is not going to work. So the bottom line is you cannot go into that creative path without talking, liaising with them, right? So you should be working together with them until there is an approved concept. So this is important, yeah, because some of the people, some of these people who are working in corporate, I've got a number of people that I know whereby they are always video production companies. So they will have clients. So I'm saying some clients, they could give you headache. You agree on something, but because this is not concrete, you use your camera, you use your transport, you create something, they will tell you, no, this is not the actual concept we want. Yeah? What it means, you should start again from the beginning, discarding that one, which doesn't mean that we have already worked on this. That's why I say, when you liaise with them, if there's a very specific concept, you should be so sure that you have agreed on that concept. That, okay, this is the actual concept we want. Yeah? We're going to put everything, but maybe we can add our creativity, but we know that the main concept is this. Yeah? Oh yes, then you do that. That's why it's important to make sure that you do that. So, as a video producer, you start to do your video production, you work on the creative vision. And then after working on the creative vision, you'll be thinking about logistics, right? So the logistics, you focus on so this is everything. We have a production budget with our client, we will approve and then work off to ensure our production is within means, right? Because sometimes, as I said, you don't want to be doing production that is beyond your means, right? So you see whatever you have, that's what it means. What do you have for the production? Are these going to make us come up with what we want? Or it's going to be, we need more, something like that. And after that, you plan the type of crew that you want. Then you look into the crew. Okay, these people, the ones that we want, we want to have this, we want to have this, we want to have the director, we want to have the producer, we want to have this assistant, whatever. And then from there, okay, the equipment. What do you have? The equipment you have? You have this, that. Then in the post-production, what do we have in the post-production? How are we going to do it? Something like that. So, just a little bit to go with that when we're thinking about maybe arranging our video production. This was talking about some of the elements that we need to keep in our mind when we are about to do the production, which are the important elements. We don't have time. Can you see we have enough time here? Okay, what I'm going to do, I'll just finish by maybe 3 minutes. I don't think that we can go beyond this. So the other portion I want to talk about was steps of video production, whereby, now it's actual steps whereby you want to start the actual thing, not getting the equipment, like in the process, not the process like you're talking about the stages of production. but talking about some of the steps, like starting with the gathering the information. Like you talk about, like before you begin to think creatively, you do a quick overview of the project. And then you determine what it is that you hope to accomplish. Then you identify the intended viewer and explain how you want your video to affect the viewer. Do you want it to motivate? Do you want it to inform? Do you want it to cause a specific effect? Right? So something like that. But in the meantime, I think for a fresh start, unfortunately, our course is more technical, so I don't want to go into this detail much. But what I'm saying, I'll just urge you over the weekend to have a chance to go on the WhatsApp. What I'm going to do, because I discovered that when you people are added, all the documents that are sent are not missing. Most of them that are telling me that they don't see all the documents. So I'll just resend the same documents on the same WhatsApp, meaning when you open it, you're going to see them. So there's going to be this document called video production. It's not like a book. It's more like a module. Although I say it's only that it's a little bit detailed, but there are some specific details where you find them in the books. But still, it will just guide you into some other details, and you are going to see actual books. I think some of the books I've ever sent you before, but there's a book, 2 books by Mirason, the video production and the television production. So maybe one of them you have them already, right? But with the 2 books, the video production one is the video production 4th edition. That's the most maybe relevant in terms of the 2. Television production is more very specific for television. It's also important, but video, because it was just random, so it's much more important. So I will send them, so you should make sure that you access it. I'm just saying over the weekend because I will do it maybe tonight. I'll make sure that by weekend is there. So when you get this document on the video production, it's just a black and white document. You will going to see somewhere there are the steps of video production. That's where I want you to start. So let's talk about the gather information, choose the format, then you say select the style, then add appropriate elements, then try testimonial. So that was the place. And from there we're going to be going other elements. Yeah.
Don't forget what my number can include.
Yeah, see, like, can you send me your number? I don't even know that if I still got your number. I'm surprised. How did I not see you that you are not there? Or maybe because, as I'm saying, that because you are not around.